Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I have another very easy keto dessert recipe for you. Today I am going to show you how to make quick and easy keto brookies. Now, if you've ever had your cheat day and eaten at Domino's or seen their commercial of their cookie brownie, that's basically the same thing as a brookie. It is a mix of a cookie and a brownie. It's very easy, very tasty. And if you want a printable version of this recipe, you can check out my website at janet'sdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out videos, at least every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So while you do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Line an 8x8-inch cake pan with parchment paper and allow the paper to hang over the sides just a little bit so you can easily remove the brookie slab once it's done baking. In a large mixing bowl, combine 42 grams or around 6 tablespoons of coconut flour, 28 grams or around 1/3 cup of cocoa powder, 150 grams or around 3/4 cup of the granulated sweetener of your choice. I'm using granulated monk fruit sweetener. You can use whatever granulated sweetener you want. You can also adjust this more or less depending on how sweet you want the brownie part of your brookie. Just don't reduce the sweetener too much because it will affect the bulk and the texture of your brownie if you reduce the sweetener too much. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Sift all the dry ingredients together until everything is fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. Add 4 large room temperature eggs. Make sure they are room temperature so they stir in more smooth. If you want to keep this egg free, then you can use flax eggs or chia eggs or any other egg substitute. Stir the eggs into the dry ingredients until everything is fully combined and all the dry ingredients are moist. Add 6 tablespoons of butter that's been melted and cooled. Make sure they are cooled. You don't want to add hot butter. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You can adjust this more or less depending on how much of a little vanilla hint you want in the brownie part of your brookie. Stir everything together until everything is fully combined and you have a smooth, thick batter that forms. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and push the batter to the center of the bowl. Then pour the batter into the center of your prepared cake pan. Use a spatula or your fingers or the back of a measuring cup and spread the batter evenly throughout your cake pan. Make sure you get it as even as you can and make sure the top is as smooth as you can get it. Once the batter is spread evenly, then set it aside for just a minute. In a separate large mixer bowl, combine 6 tablespoons of very soft room temperature butter. Make sure it is very soft, not melted, but you want it to be very soft so that it blends smoothly. Add 25 grams or around 2 tablespoons of the granulated sweetener of your choice. I'm using granulated monk fruit sweetener. Again, you can use whatever granulated sweetener you want. Add 50 grams or around 1/4 cup of the brown sugar sweetener of your choice. I'm using brown monk fruit sweetener, and once again, you can use whatever brown sugar sweetener you want. And you can also adjust the sweeteners a little bit more or a little bit less depending on how sweet you want the cookie part of your brookie to be. Also, if you prefer just to use all granulated sweetener or all brown sugar sweetener, you can do that too. You don't have to use a mix. I think it has a better taste and texture when you use a mix, but if all you have is just one sweetener, it'll still taste just fine. Add a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and you can adjust this more or less depending on how much of a vanilla hint you want in the cookie part of your brookie. Beat on low for about 10 seconds or just until everything starts combining together. Then increase your speed to medium and beat on medium for about 1 minute or until the mixture is creamy. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and push the mixture to the center of the bowl. Add 3 large room temperature eggs. Again, make sure these are room temperature. And also with this, if you want to do this egg free, you can also use flax eggs or chia eggs or any other egg substitute. Beat on low for 10 seconds or just until the eggs start combining. Then increase your speed to medium-low and beat on medium-low for another minute or until everything is creamy. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and push the mixture to the center of the bowl, then set it aside for just a minute. In a separate small mixing bowl, combine 42 grams or around 6 tablespoons of coconut flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Sift it all together until the dry ingredients are fully combined and there are no lumps. Then take your mixer bowl that has your egg mixture in it and turn the mixture back onto low. Then gradually add your coconut flour mixture and allow the coconut flour mixture to beat in after each addition. So you just add a little bit at a time, let it beat in, then a little bit more, let it beat in until all of the coconut flour mixture is completely added and it's completely combined. Once all your coconut flour is added, you can stop and scrape down the sides of the bowl as needed. You want to make sure that all the coconut flour mixture gets nice and mixed in. Then increase your speed to medium-low and beat on medium-low for another minute or so, or until everything is fully combined and a smooth dough has formed. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and push the dough to the center of the bowl. Then form the dough into a smooth ball and massage it in your hands just a little bit. You're going to make sure the dough should be moist, but it should not be sticking to your hands. For me right now, my dough seems a little bit too moist. It's sticking to my hands a little bit more than what it should. So I'm going to sprinkle in another tablespoon or 7 grams of coconut flour so that it's not sticking to my fingers. The amount of coconut flour that you need can slightly differ depending on your brand and your texture of your coconut flour. So you want to massage the dough in your hands for at least 1 minute. And again, if it's sticking to your hands, add a little bit more coconut flour until it's not sticking to your hands. If it feels too dry and it's crumbly, then you need to add just a tiny bit of room temperature milk or water. If you're using the chia or flax eggs, then once your ingredients are all combined and you have the dough massaged in a ball, you'll need to let it sit for at least 5 to 10 minutes so that the extra moisture can be absorbed. Once your dough is all massaged and you've got the right texture, then gradually fold in 2 ounces or around a 1/4 cup of the keto chocolate chips of choice. I'm using Lily's milk chocolate chips. You can use whatever chocolate chips you want. Just gradually add it a little bit at a time, fold them in, add a little bit more until the whole 2 ounces or 1/4 cup of the chocolate chips are combined and they're evenly distributed throughout the dough. You can adjust the amount of chocolate chips a little bit more or a little bit less according to your personal taste. Just don't add too many. You don't want to go too crazy with this. Once your cookie dough has all been stirred together, then take your pan that has the brownie batter all spread through it and scoop the cookie dough mixture onto the top of the brownie batter. Then use the back of a spoon or a wooden spoon and spread the dough around a little bit to make a flat surface. Now, generally the way I do it is I just divide my dough into 5 piles basically that are on top of the brownie batter. I put 1 pile into each corner and then a smaller pile in the center of the brownie batter. And I just use a wooden spoon and kind of smooth out the top a little bit, then use my fingers and flatten the piles out till they're completely smooth and the top is nice and even. I like to leave some of the brownie batter showing so I don't connect all the cookie dough on top. You can do that. You can just connect it and make it just one big layer of cookie dough on top of brownie dough. Make sure as you are adding the cookie dough that you still try to keep everything as even as possible and still trying to keep the top as smooth as you can. Once your cookie dough is all distributed over the top of the brownie batter, then place the pan in your preheated oven. Bake at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes or until the brownie batter is no longer wiggly. Once the brookie is all done baking, remove it from your oven. It's still going to be soft, but it'll firm up as it cools. So allow it to cool in your pan at least 1 hour so it can firm up really well. After about an hour and your brookie has firmed up, carefully grasp the overhanging parchment paper and carefully lift the brookie slab out of the pan and transfer it to a wire rack. Then allow it to cool completely before slicing it into your desired size pieces. All right, so we have sliced it. As you can see, it's cooled, it's sliced. You can see those 2 layers of the cookie and the brownie. It smells really, really, really good. We have to taste and we have to see if it tastes as good as it smells, right? That's good. Another thumbs up for me. Yay! Very tasty, very tasty. You can eat these immediately. If you do have any leftovers, allow them to cool completely and store them in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 5 days, or in your refrigerator in an airtight container for up to 1 week. Or you can cut these into your desired slices, wrap them in plastic wrap, then put them in a freezer-safe container and freeze these for up to 1 month. Eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.